Merry Christmas, a December the 25th roach. That's a bigger roach, which from this type of venue is a decent enough fish. This one has had an encounter with a predator of some description. You can see there it's on both sides of the fish. It looks mangled, but it's survived and it's feeding, and hopefully it'll go on to grow bigger, albeit bearing the scars of that aforementioned encounter. Just a quick session there on Christmas morning. Merry Christmas, Nadolig a Llawen in Welsh. I was thinking though, when I was out there angling, about people who go out and about on Christmas Day. It's been years since I've been on a forum, but when they first came out, I used to go on and chat and talk to people about angling. And I can remember on one occasion, someone had been visiting relatives on a Christmas Day and had seen someone else fishing. And he came on, can't remember who it was. It wasn't someone I knew actually, it was just something I read. And he blasted the person, saying he's got no life and what a thing to do and all that sort of stuff. And of course, you know what it's like. The crowd joins in and echo his words. The person's got no life, or whatever the case may be. But I think regarding angling and Christmas Day, first of all, and this actually is the most important point anyway, whatever you do with your life, as long as you're not bothering anyone else, that's the key. As long as you're not bothering anyone else, has got nothing to do with other people whatsoever. I was out fishing this morning. I was the only one there, but then again, I was on a place where you don't see anglers. But I saw cyclists, joggers, ramblers, bird watchers, people walking the dogs and people walking themselves. It's up to them what they do on Christmas Day. If you go fishing, if you go bird watching, if you go walking, cycling, jogging, whatever it is, it's got absolutely nothing to do with anyone else. But there's also a second point as well that I think is important. You don't know why that person's out there. Now for me, I just like to go fishing. I never did when the girls, I've got two daughters, were younger. When they were at home, I never went fishing. It's only been since they've grown up themselves that I've gone out for an hour first thing. But you never know what's going through people's minds and what's happening in their lives at the time, do you? That man, back to the original comment that I referred to, that was out fishing on Christmas Day, he could have lost his wife that year. He could have been going through a terrible situation in his own personal circumstances. And it could be that angling kept him together. It could be that that man is a really keen angler and he's never been out on Christmas Day and he's got 6 weeks to live. And his wife said to him, why don't you go out on Christmas Day? You've never been before. Go fishing. And so he did. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. When I was out today, I saw two men, elderly men. And when you think that I'm in my 60s, I mean elderly. And they were bumped into each other, whether they knew each other before, I don't know. But they bumped into one another. They were chatting away, both on their own. They could well be widowers, I don't know. And it could be the fact that they were out there on Christmas Day, enjoying the great outdoors, that helps them to keep together. So two things. First of all, which is the most important one anyway, draw the line at the end of that. Because whatever you do with your life, as long as you're not bothering anyone else, it doesn't matter. It's your business, no one else's. But then secondly, before we get too judgmental about what other people are doing with their lives, you don't know what's going on at this moment in time. You don't know the circumstances as to why that person's doing what they do. Merry Christmas, Nadolig Llawen. And if you're fishing, cycling, rambling, whatever it is, you enjoy life and don't worry about what other people think of you.